Mock exam 2 for test 1. Again, 11 questions. So let's tackle them one by one. So the first question, already we have a table. That table tells us the number of the beverages and the brand of the beverages and the prices related to the brand and quantity. The price per beverage is listed here and the tax per beverage is listed here. And we want to know a company buys 75 cans of Red Bull tax-free, how much would they pay? So yeah, let's use this cell to write our formulas. So here we have 75 cans of Red Bull including tax. So one way to do it is to use this number and minus 75 times the tax. However, we will take another way. That is, we just start by calculating with the number of Red Bull and the price of Red Bull. As long as we don't add the tax will not be there. Probably this is an easier approach to tackle this question. Here we go, 81. That's the answer. No, that is just the result. This is the answer. Let's move on, Q2. And have a look what we have here. Number 34 divided by 5, then add 6. This is very simple. We just need to write it down. This number divide by this one and then plus that one. Okay. Question 3. This is a very familiar question. Is testing about relative cell reference. So if we have C2 plus C3 and copy that and paste to A3, what will happen? It will change to A1 plus A2. That is answer for this question. Oops, I am generating a formatting issue and now it should work. Alright, lesson learned, just do not press enter. Okay, we have it covered. Question 4. Again, no sheet available for this one, but on the syllabus we do have a calculation. That is 9 divided by 3 and times 4, then plus 10. You can ask the Excel to do the work, but what's important is for you to know that this one calculates first, and then that one, the last would be the addition. 22 is the answer. You see, when the answer is a number, it will remind you write down the number, and if it doesn't indicate, then the answer should always be a formula. Now let's have a look at the question 5. So in this question we have a whole list of payments. So we want to figure out the formula in C6, and that's the formula that should be able to drag all the way to December. So here we have the amount we need to pay minus the monthly payment. That's it. However, to be able to use it in the following cells, we should use $sign to fix the H3. And if we are moving only horizontally, then we only need to worry about the column to make sure the column will stay in H. So F4 $sign to lock the column, lock the H, and now we're ready to go. Let's test it. Perfect. just the same as what we see on the screenshots for this question. So the question asks you the formula of C6. This is a formula of C6, and you also see an extra row here which is filled in the screenshot, but since it's not a question that the exam is asking for, we can just ignore this line. Alright, let's move on to question 6. What we have here is a table for a hairdresser, and that hairdresser keeps a record of 3 months, and in these 3 months they did a certain amount of haircut and wash and coloring. For each one of those there's a price. For haircut only you pay 10 euros, for haircut and wash 12.50, and for coloring 25. If we want to know the turnover of the first month, we will use the haircut of the first month to times the price of the haircut. Now we have all the turnovers regarding haircut, and then the next one would be the total amount of haircut and wash, and then times the price per haircut and wash. And the last one would be the price of coloring. Let's follow the same order we just followed. So starting with the number of coloring cases, and then times the price of coloring. So here we have a number which is too large. We need to set the width of the column fixable. Okay, 2500. If we want to use this formula also for the other cells, this is not really working well. As you can see, this number is too large or too nice to be true. So we go back. How do you solve this? I think by now you should know dollar signs. So C6 should be flexible because we are moving to the coming months, and so does D6 and E6, but C11, C12 and C3 should stay there. Since we are moving vertically, then we need to lock the row. The column will not change anyway. That's it. So we can copy those down, and if we compare to the screenshots, this is exactly the same. This formula would be an answer for the question 6. Let's move on to question 7. So we had a similar one in the other mock exam, also packages of pens. Now we have price per pen as 0.23, and number of packages would be 5, 10, and 15, etc. However, now we have 3 different types of pens, 3 different types of packages. So each package could contain 6 pens or 12 pens or 24 pens. That gives us a little bit complexity. So for this one would be the price per pen times the number of pens per package, and then times the number of packages. So for this one we need to take 3 variables into calculation. But if we want to drag this formula down and horizontally to cover the whole table, we need to fix some dollar signs. So first let's have a look at A3. Should the A3 to be fixed? Yes. And since we want to move both direction, then the A3 should be locked in both direction. And how about B7? is B7 possible to be copied downwards? No, it should stay in this row, so the row 7 should be locked. How about the column? The column should stay flexible because later we want to know the prices of the package of 12 pence and later 24 pence. So in this case, we lock the row only. A8 for the packages, can it go downwards? Can the row change? Yes. But can the column change? No. So we give the $sign in front of A. Now we have the formula. We should be able to copy it everywhere. Let's compare if it's the same as the instruction. Yes, it is the same. And now, please copy this one as your answer. Okay, moving on to question 8. This question requires us to look for the highest grade and lowest grade in this table. So when we are talking about the highest, the formula should come up in our minds should be the max. This one will calculate the highest number. The range is here, easy to apply, and now we have all three of them. Lowest grade, minimum. So mean is the right function. And the lowest grade would be 0 for first trimester. If you see the original table, you know it's true. Here, we finished question 8. How about question 9? Let's have a look. Again, the grades, but now this time we want to figure out the number of whom passed. So of course you can calculate, now you can count them one by one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if you have a larger data set, it will be difficult. So count is the right function to use. Since we also have a threshold, we also have a criteria to be met, then we add the if. So not only count, but count if. The countif function will first ask you the range, and then the criteria would be 5.5, right? So whether it's a pass when it's reached 5.5, or it also includes 5.5. So not only more than 5.5, but we also should have the equal sign. So now we have more than or equal to 5.5, and that number is 6. If we are confident about our formula, then we just copy it horizontally to other cells. Alright, that's question 9. Let's move on to question 10. Question 10, again, we have these grades, the list of grades, but now we want to know the difference between the highest and the lowest value. And I assume they are talking about the whole 3 trimesters. We want to find the highest grade of all the data and the lowest grade, and we want to make a function. So that involves, of course, max, because we want to find out the highest, and then the minimum, mean. That's how we find the lowest, and probably we need to make a calculation between max and mean. So first we find the max value, which is this part, and then we go ahead and minus the minimum. Yes, in case it's the first time for you to see this, it is possible to have multiple functions in one formula, as long as it makes sense for your context. So here we have the minimum found. Let's read the formula again. Highest number and lowest number. With the minus, we will find out the difference. Here we go. The difference would be 6. So the lowest number should be 4. And the highest number is 10. The difference is 6. Let's move on to question 11. Very last question of this exam. We need to know the weekday of a certain date. So whether it's Sunday, Monday, or any other day. And here we have the instruction: the weekday should start with Sunday and ending with Saturday. Number 1 stands for Sunday and number 7 stands for Saturday. So here we have the function weekday, and the input is here, quite obvious. But the return type we need to select carefully. Oh, the first one is already Sunday through Saturday. Okay, let's pick that as return type. Close parentheses. We will find out the weekday of this date would be number 6 in the week. That's a Friday. And we can copy it downwards. We will find out this one is a Saturday, that one is a Thursday, etc. So, we conclude the second mock exam for the midterm exam. I hope you can prepare well. Good luck, and I will see you in the advanced Excel videos.